watched our last video, you already know what this video is about. Even though I work on a lot of felt craft projects, this is the first time I made a felt patch. So this is a learning experience for me as well. I'm going to share the entire process of how I made this patch, and yes, you are also getting the free pattern as well. I chose felt and I'll talk about the reasons for that later in the video. Now let's get started. First, we need to decide the size of the patch and its design. As you can see, I already drew a 2 by 2 inch box on the paper, so I can limit my design inside it. It means my patch is gonna be 2 inches or smaller than that. Next, you can come up with any design you like and draw it inside the box. I'm going for a simple bird pattern with a few pattern pieces. I don't want to make things complicated for my first try. You'll find the free PDF pattern for this design in the description if you would like to make this same bird patch. Whenever you design a pattern, you don't necessarily need to do the complete drawing. You only have to draw the basic pattern pieces. If this part doesn't interest you, don't worry, I have time-stamped this video, so you can skip this part and directly go to the sewing steps. After drawing the basic design, you can carefully cut out the pattern pieces. In this design, you'll find 4 pieces: body of the bird, wing, beak, and tail feathers. Now, if you're wondering, even though I said 4 pattern pieces, there are only 3 pieces in the video. That's because I'm leaving the body and the wing intact for now, and I'll separate that in a moment. Don't worry, your PDF pattern will have all 4 separately. Now let's see what are the materials and tools in order to complete this project. This is a hand sewing project, so you'll need embroidery floss to go with your design. Then our main material will be felt. You'll need it for the design and for the background. The ones I'm using are craft felt, and you can select any color as you prefer. You'll also need pins, a hand needle, a fabric marking pen, and a pair of scissors. You can also use an embroidery hoop to make things easier, but it's an optional tool. Now let's start cutting the felt pieces using the pattern. Starting with the body piece, place the pattern piece on top of the felt. You can then cut around the pattern while holding it to the felt. If this feels hard for you, you can first pin the pattern onto felt and then cut around it. We have a separate video on how to cut felt pieces for a pattern manually, and please make sure to check that out if you are interested in learning more. As I mentioned earlier, after cutting the felt piece for the body, I'm going to separate out the wing, so I can use it as my 4th pattern piece. I'm only sharing these things because then you can also make your own patterns as well. Now, using the pattern piece for the wing, I'm going to cut 1 piece of felt in dark blue color. Same steps goes for the beak, 1 piece of felt from it. When it comes to the tail feathers, I cut 3 felt pieces from that pattern, and I also mix the colors as well, 2 in dark blue and 1 in light blue. Now this is how this bird design is gonna arrange for the patch. Next, we'll need another background felt piece, and the bird design is gonna go on top of it. I have selected a grey colored felt piece for that. You can set your background felt to an embroidery hoop to make things easier, but it's not necessary. If you don't have a large enough background piece to set to an embroidery hoop, just don't worry about it. But you still have to make sure you have enough space on your background felt piece to sew the design, and then about ½ an inch of some additional space around it. As you can see, I'm using an embroidery hoop, and now it's time to sew the design onto the background. But before that, have a rough idea on where the pieces position and make sure you have enough space all around the design. Then one by one, attach the pieces using your thread and needle. I'm starting with the body piece, and because it's a larger piece, you can use a pin to keep it in place. Thread your needle and make a knot at the end. I'm using 2 thread counts here, and it's totally up to you. You can pick any stitch type, but I'm going to go with a simple whip stitch for this part. From the back of the fabric, come up at the edge of the body piece only on the background felt. Then go back down on both body and the background pieces, making a small stitch. Continue the same step all around the body piece, and it's that simple. We have a separate tutorial on whip stitch applique in case you are interested. After you have made the final stitch on the body piece, we can now move on to the next piece. There is no particular order, I'm going to go with the wing. Now to attach this one, I'm using the back stitch instead of the whip stitch. The reason for that is, I like the stitches to be more visible on the small pieces, so it will give a more handmade look. Using a contrasting thread color also contributes to that. Now these small decisions totally depend on what you like, and that's the beauty of creating things on your own. You can customize things as you like. I'm self-taught to sewing, so I know stitches like simple back stitch can be difficult at the beginning. So if you don't know how to do the back stitch, we have a separate tutorial on that too. I'll leave the link in the description. After this point, it'll be the same steps. Place each and every piece for the beak and for the 3 tail feathers where it goes on the design, and then sew it using the back stitch or whichever stitch you prefer. At this point, all the pieces for the patch are attached, and we only have to work on a couple of details. For the wing, I'm gonna make a few straight stitches deviating from the top of the wing towards its sides. You can even use the fly stitch in embroidery to do the same thing. Use any method that works best for you. If you want to show a small feather-like feature on the wing, you can make small fly stitches all over the wing. I think that will also give a nice look. Do as you please, and I went with something simple as these straight stitches. Before embroidering the eye, let me show you what to do whenever you are running out of thread or you need to change the thread color. Turn over to the back of the fabric and then move your needle underneath the last stitch or any stitch nearby. Pull the needle until it forms a loop, and then go through the loop and pull it all the way to make a tight knot. You can make a second knot for a more secure stitch. Finally, trim the thread short. Now let's embroider the eye. I'm gonna go with 1 French knot for the eye, and I'm using all 6 strands. Decide where you want the eye to be, or you can even mark a dot using your fabric marking pen if that makes things easier for you. Now from the back of the fabric, insert the needle at that point and pull it all the way. Then wrap the thread around the pointy end of the needle about 3 times and then go back down on or near the point you just came through. Make sure you are giving a slight tension to the thread from your other hand while pulling the needle from the other side. I'm not going to go into all the details here, so please make sure to check out the tutorial on how to do the French knots for that. Now everything is done and look how cute it looks. Before moving on to the next step, you can turn over to the wrong side and make a couple of knots like we did earlier to secure the French knot. We are only a couple of steps away from completing this project, and now turn over to the right side. Next, we are going to cut around this design, leaving enough space around it. Yes, you can just eyeball this part, but I strongly suggest you outline around it first and cut it after. I'm using a fabric marking pen for outlining, and mine is a heat erasable fabric marker. Leaving about 4 to 5 millimeters of additional space around the design on the background felt will be enough, and first I'm gonna mark points around the design. I can join these points after to complete the outline of the design. If you can draw it in one go ahead and do that. Because this is my first patch, I want to be extra careful. Finally, join all those points to make it into a continuous line. Now it's time to cut along this outline, and first I'm going to remove the embroidery hoop. If you didn't use one, you can start cutting. Use a small pair of scissors and carefully cut along the line. Because we left enough space around the design, you don't have to worry about damaging the stitches at the back while cutting. Now that is one reason why we need to leave enough space around. Few other reasons are just for the decoration purpose of it, to allow sewing space if you are making this into a sew-on patch, and also to do the raw edges depending on the fabric type. Now this final reason explains why I chose felt fabric for my first patch. An amazing thing about felt is it doesn't fray like your regular fabric. That means you don't necessarily need to embroider the raw edges. It makes things easier, especially for beginners. So I won't be embroidering the raw edges for this felt patch. I might be for the next one. Our felt patch is all done at this point, but I still need to get rid of the fabric markings on the edges. Since I used a heat erasable marker, I can simply iron it over. But instead of a direct heat press, I'm going to place a cotton fabric over the patch first and then iron it. The reasons are the felt itself is a delicate fabric, and I also don't want to squish the little embroidery work I did on top. So I'm just going to press only the edges of the patch over a piece of cotton fabric. As you can see, the fabric marks have disappeared and your patch is ready to go. You can turn this patch either into an iron-on patch using heat and bond, or you can directly sew it to your garment as well. In that case, we call it sew-on patch. Patches are a great way to style your garments, backpacks, tote bags, or almost anything. but it can also be a practical solution for a day-to-day problem like covering up holes in your clothing or this mended slit I need to cover in my backpack. Now if you want to see how to sew this felt patch onto a garment, make sure to check out that tutorial next. I hope you like this video, and if you do, please subscribe to our channel as well. Thank you all for watching, and I'll join you in the next one.